G'day, it's Dan here, continuing our adventure into the Ruleset Wizard Christmas Challenge. So we're in the Ruleset Wizard. I'm going to get started, so I'm going to create a couple of base folders here. Create campaign. I'm going to create graphics, scripts, and strings. And under graphics, I'm going to create two new folders, one called frames and one called icons. Okay, and we're going to also have one up here called scripts. What happened there? And that's enough for us to get started. So first thing I'm going to do is create the frame for my character sheet. So add new frame, and we're going to choose the file image name, white lies. I created one here called charsheet.png. We can see here it's got some transparencies on the corners. It actually doesn't look terrible if I put a different coloured background behind those, and the big advantage of that is I can make it a non-transparent image and it will actually be a little bit lighter weight, a little bit smaller. I'm going to call this car sheet, and my frame offset I'm going to put at 0,00,0,0. This rule set, this character sheet is not designed in any way, shape or form to be resized. That's problematic for some people. It's the way it is in this particular one. So you can see here that the green border here shows the positions of the offset. If we were to make this, say, 25, it would shrink in here, and this basically forms the 9 slices, and not relevant for this particular frame, but definitely relevant for some of the other frames that we'll do. So, and you might also notice that this is a little bit different to the standard way of building things. Standard way, you put a fairly generic blank image at the background, and then you lay objects on. In this case, I've embedded some of those objects here into the character sheet. We'll see how it works out. What I'm going to do now is add on my, okay, so that's the character sheet frame. I now need to actually make a car sheet window. So clicking on the frame at the back here, I'm going to call it car sheet, and the size was 600, I think, and 540, and that's also tell it resize false. Maximum height 600, minimum height 600, maximum width 540, minimum width 540. Yes, these are possibly redundant with having this as false, but I'm putting them in anyway. We don't want titles, don't need anything else here. Now frame we do need. So this drop down is pulling all of those from CoreRPG, but we just want ours at the bottom, car sheet. And let's see. Looks like it's actually longer than 600. Looks like it might be 620 or 640. Let's try 640. I should go back and check the image file. And looks like it's still longer than that again, so let's do that. Here's my folder, here's my car sheet PNG, and it's 660. So it's going to take me a few goes to get there if I kept incrementing it slowly like that. So let's pop these in. And now we can see we've got our corners and everything here at the bottom of the sheet. Great. We don't need anything else here, I don't think, on this particular one. Merge. So yes, we do want this. We're going to join this. Now join is a merge rule. It means it's going to import any of the parts from CoreRPG that we don't outright redefine on this character sheet. It's probably going to create some errors for us as well as we go along. So let's see what happens. Let's go and have a look at what we've got so far. Let's save this, and generate the Ruleset extension. Let's launch Fantasy Grounds. Let's create a new campaign. DB White Lies. Hopefully our white lies will show up down here. It hasn't. Why not? Okay, it's because I stuck my pack file into the campaign folder, the working folder, instead of into our Rulesets folder. So I'm going to have to go and fix that in our Ruleset properties. So we go back up here, double click on the campaign up here, and the result file should not have been in the DBR White Lies subfolder. It should be straight in Rulesets. So we'll OK that, we'll regenerate it, alright, and we will launch Fantasy Grounds again. Okay, create campaign. Oof, there we go, DBR White Lies. Okay, we don't need anything else set up for this. Hit start. It should load pretty quickly because there's not very much in here at the moment. In fact, there's basically nothing other than our frame. What we're going to do is go to player and characters, create a new character, and okay, so not exactly what we expected to see or hoped to see. I'm just going to give this character a name, Alexi. So we'll name him and we'll give him a portrait. I love these fastened portraits. That one will do. And we'll also drag him down to the F4 key. So we can see Alexi down here. And I'm going to also create some other shortcuts here, such as reload. Drag that down to the F1 key. Save. F3 and console to F2. Which keys you use doesn't really matter, but these are the ones I get used to. And it just means that if I click on F4, or hit F4 on my keyboard or click on it, it launches my character sheet. If I hit reload, it will reload the character sheet with any changes. So those are a couple of shortcuts to help speed me along. Let's have a quick look at our worksheet here. Right, so we've got name, and it looks like it's in an overview frame, and we've got some other frames here. We've got some tabs. We're going to keep some of these tabs, but we're going to nuke most of them. Broadly, the stuff is fitting into the character sheet roughly where it should do. Yeah, our close button is in the right spot. Our tabs are in the right section here. Our name is close to the right spot, but we'll see a couple of other parts in a minute. So let's go and crack open our CoreRPG rule set. So we go to the Rulesets folder, we find CoreRPG pack, right click on it. Now 7-zip is great, it knows that this is actually a zip package, so I'm going to go extract to CoreRPG. I've already got one, so I've just let it overwrite all those files, and then we'll find up here a CoreRPG folder that's got all of our stuff in it. So we're going to campaign and record car, launch that, and we can see a whole bunch of code in here. Now what I'm really looking for is name. Name is ambiguous because lots of things include the word name, so we're going to find next string labeled name. So this is what we're after here, string labeled name, and it's anchored to overview frame. We've also got an overview frame, which is this field here. I want to get rid of that, and I want to adjust our overview frame. So let's do that really quickly. So I'm going to just create a custom control, into Nuffy control. I'm going to put it over here off my sheet. First thing I'm going to do is give it a name, and it's overview frame. and merge is delete. And I'm going to make sure that it is set to invisible just in case, so it doesn't try and display it off the side here. That's it, and then I'm going to do a string field over here, push it up a little bit higher, and I'm going to go give it a template, string labeled. Gosh, my typing is awesome. String labeled. Now, string labeled, the name is name, but I need to add some custom properties. Now, the custom properties are property name is label. Is it label? It is label, and the property value here is name. Let's see if that works, and we're going to merge or replace this particular field. We'll leave those settings as they are for the moment. Let's generate the rule set, jump into FG and F1 to reload, and F4 to launch the character sheet. Okay, some progress here, and good. So my overview frame, this parchment type texture that was at the top here, has gone, and my name field fits nicely inside my new background field. Let's leave that for this video, and I'll see you guys again sometime soon for the next part.